welcome back to yet another Buffalo Bills pregame. I am Randy. Dan is here on analysis, and as the dozens of you who watched my video last week know, the window for the Bills is quite obviously open, and I am screenshots from a lot of you that will be shown as we go to our Super Bowl parade that you are no longer invited to. Welcome back after a Super Bowl, after another Bills victory. We beat up on the Las Vegas Raiders, and we are feeling great coming into a game against the Washington Commanders, a team or a name of a team we have never faced before as a Bills organization. And right away you got to wonder, with the whole world to choose, I was a strong advocate for the Washington Carvers as a nod to the peanut farmer and also a clever name, but they went with Commanders when they could have chosen Admirals or Generals or anything of a higher rank. Do you think it was a troll on the Chiefs to be Commanders and Chiefs?
That's a good question. I guess I never really thought of it that way. Yeah, I think they could have picked a higher rank, and it seems like they might be changing their name again. So
Dan Snyder is just in it for the lulz, right to the very, very end. The Bills' offense, we have a tale of 2 games so far against what is maybe a very good defense of the New York Jets, struggled to get anything going. And what is clearly not a strong defense from the Las Vegas Raiders just seemed like they could do anything they want. Which offensive performance do you think is more representative of what the Bills are going to have coming up?
it is hard to say because it seems like, the Jets have a pretty decent defense when the Raiders obviously don't. I want to say that the second game with the win is more reflective of who they are, just based off of last year and how well the offense did play. It seems like Josh Allen was just trying to do too much against the Jets. So it definitely seems like they got back to last year's form with the game against the Raiders.
Worth noting, and a treat for all the Washington Commanders fans tuning in this week, we will have Louie T hopefully coming up on our show for a little bit of analysis. But looking at the Bills' depth chart so far, or the use of the receivers, who's getting the targets, it would seem that Kincaid is effectively being used as a wide receiver 3, like the third target for the passing offense. Do you expect that we will continue seeing him involved more in the passing game, or will Deonte or Trent Sherfield start to take over more of a wide receiver 3 role as the season rolls on?
No, I certainly don't think it's a bad thing that Kincaid has the third most receptions. He was a first-round pick. It's good to see that, they're not wasting that. He's already involved heavily into the offense. You definitely want to see some of those guys step up, though, because, Hardy and Sherfield, they haven't really done too much right now, and, you don't want it to all be on Diggs and Davis, and, Knox has looked pretty good so far, as well as Kincaid, but, you definitely want your receivers to be stepping up a little bit.
Heck yeah, Davis is looking great, making some catches out there. It's been very exciting to see. On the opposite side of the ball, first-year starter at quarterback, Sam Howell, as we approach our third new to that franchise starter in a row. How do you think the Bills approach a young quarterback? Is this a quarterback that you pressure and leave weapons like Brian Robinson more room to run, or do you lay back and let him make mistakes?
I want to say that the way that the Bills D-line has been looking, maybe lay off a little bit and rush 3 or 4, and with the way that Rousseau has been playing, and maybe if you back off a little bit and let him make the mistakes, and see how Terrel Bernard does, and go from there.
I think the Rivera versus Sean McDermott facing off as coaches who know each other might come into play here too, because Sean McDermott might be willing to let Rivera try to coach himself into mistakes with a rookie quarterback and try to look smarter just by sitting back, especially the defensive strategy the Bills have. So I would look for them to sit back a little more, I think. And unfortunately, my producer is telling me that as we wind down our episode today, Louie T will not be able to join us after all. Hopefully he is out there making those pick-em videos like he promised. But that moves on to our picks of the game. I think I went first last time, so I'll give you the first choice. How do you think the Bills are going to stand up against the Commanders this week?
I think the Bills are definitely the more talented team, and although the Commanders are 2-0, and while I don't think they're a bad team, I think the same way that the Raiders are not a bad team, I think the Bills are much more talented. So I'm going to go with a 28-13 Bills victory.
All right, not too high scoring, but commanding victory for sure. I think we owe the Denver Broncos a big thank you note after this week for sending two teams our way feeling way too good about themselves. They're probably about the worst 2-0 team in the league right now, the Washington Commanders, and I think they're coming into this game thinking they have a good chance against an elite team in the league, and they're about to run into the same razor that the Raiders just did. So I think I'll have the Bills winning 33-17, getting out early and never looking back. I think the inexperience of the Commanders will show. That being said, we always reserve the right to come and talk to you whenever we want, but we will not be back any later than November 5th for the Bengals game. So, as always, thanks for watching Buffalo Bills pregame, and it was nice being in the studio, not at Home Depot.